All right. We have a special guest on today's episode of the MMA Fight Game podcast. This athlete is a good friend of the channel, good friend of the page, The Starched. He is a 27-year-old welterweight fighter out of Synthesis Martial Arts in Rochester, New York, an OG gym in our community. He is actually just recently announced headlining LFA 167, Piersma versus Smyth, exclusively on UFC Fight Pass on September 15th at 9 p.m. at Seneca Niagara Casino. If you are a local athlete, a local fight fan, this may be the last chance to see this athlete, Jonathan Piersma, fight locally unless it comes through the area. He is destined to get the call to the show with a win. John, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Good, feeling good.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. Massive fight, man. Big spot, awesome venue, local, which how huge is that fighting locally versus having to travel like to Massachusetts or somewhere else where you've gone before, where you could probably, if you wanted to, sleep in your own bed because it's only about a 45-50 minute drive down the I-90.
Yeah, no, it's really cool for once finally fighting close to home. Every time I've fought in my pro career so far, I've always had to travel 6-7 hours or fly, and I always had to fight the hometown guys. So yeah, it's gonna be nice for once being the local guy. Getting all my friends and family that haven't had a chance to come watch me fight pro, be able to make it out. And yeah, like you said, not having to make that travel. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I get to experience it for once. Who knows if I'll get to do it again? So take advantage of it.
And I'll say it, traveling an hour versus 7 hours, that's not a pain in the ass at all. That's actually like a vacation.
Yeah, yeah, no, it'll be nice not to have to make that long drive the day before weigh-ins, cutting weight and stuff.
Yeah, and if no one's ever gone to an LFA show, I've been to multiple LFA shows. LFA is one of those organizations that pumps out the professionals. Vanessa Demopoulos, Lupi Godinez, Alex Pereira, Jacqueline Amorin, to name a few. So that really seems like that's one of the premier promotions, besides the one that you fought in with before at Combat FC, CFFC. Those are all good ones as well. LFA really, to me, seems like that's the one that has the eyes and ears of the matchmakers of Dana White. LFA, for those who don't know, is run by Ed Soares. Ed Soares used to be, or maybe still, the manager of all-time OGs, Anderson Silva, Lyoto Machida, Jose Aldo, Junior Dos Santos, all the Brazilian guys back in the day. So he really has an ear to the grindstone. How did that LFA bout come about?
Yeah, LFA is a great promotion. This is my first time fighting for them. Especially being able to fight, main event on an LFA card is really cool.
Badass.
Um, it came about a while back. They, reached out to my manager, letting them know they were coming to Niagara Falls, do the card, knowing um, I lived in Rochester, so I was relatively close, and they wanted me on it. They actually had a card back in March there. They wanted me to fight on, but I had fought a couple weeks before it, so I couldn't do it. Um, but yeah, so they reached out a while back, wanted me on it, so I was really interested. So they started sending some names, and we were able to get something done, and here I am.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you know about your opponent? Obviously, you're fighting Devin Smyth. Devin Smyth has not been on the MMA scene for a few years. He's a relative or godson of Rashad Evans, a former UFC champion. What do you know about him?
Yeah, not a ton. I mean, we watched film on him. I know he was on a Contender Series, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, he's 9-3. He's a good fighter. He's been fighting for a while. But yeah, he's solid. Good fighter. But yeah, we've been watching film. We've been watching his fights. Getting ready for it. But yeah, we'll be ready for it. He's gonna be a game opponent. He'll show up to fight, and it's gonna be a good one.
With a win, what is your expectation for next?
I try not to look ahead too much because stuff like that's not really in my control.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, obviously with the win, I hope I'm putting myself right on that doorstep of getting that call to the UFC. That'll put me at 7-1. Like you said, I just won a headlining an LFA card. Um, so yeah, hopefully it puts me right there. But like I said, I don't worry about that too much because I can't control that. I can't. There's no set. You win this fight, you're in. So yeah, I'm just gonna win this fight, and then if I have to, I'll win another fight after that. But hopefully this puts me a lot closer, and this puts me right there. So go out there with a good performance, get a finish. UFC Fight Pass, LFA in front of the home crowd. Should move me closer to where I want to be.
Yeah, a dominant performance, I'm sure because we already know that you're a humble guy. Like you're really humble.
Hmm.
Except when you're yelling at me for maybe saying something I shouldn't have, but that's all right.
Yeah.
But you're a humble guy, and with a win, you're already on the UFC radar. So obviously that's where you want to be. You have a similar opponent who you fought a very close, albeit a very controversial decision. He's fighting at UFC 293. So it would almost make sense that with a dominant win over a very tough opponent, that the call is to be expected. I know you're not looking ahead and not to discredit Devin or anything that you have going on, but would you want a short notice fight? Would you want to just go directly to the UFC, or would you be okay with a contender series opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with anything. Yeah, obviously, short notice would be great. My plan after this fight is, get this win, and stay in shape, not get too heavy. Stay ready to go. So, if in case there was, that short notice opportunity, I'd be ready to go. So that'd be awesome. I mean, contender series, I obviously wouldn't pass that up. Yeah, I would take any opportunity to get my foot in the door. I would love that. But like I said, I'm just gonna focus on this. I'm gonna go in and get this win. Get this win, get out of there with hopefully no damage, no injuries, and get right back to training, stay in shape, be ready to go for any opportunity might come my way.
Yeah, and the card for on September 15th, it's a busy fight weekend. Holy cow. I mean,
Yeah.
you have Combat FC 5, you have your fight, which is LFA 167 at the Seneca Niagara Casino. I can't say enough about that. So if you have some friends or family or anybody that's just a fight fan in general that wants to see, you who is definitely a UFC prospect for sure, fight locally, you can't go wrong going to LFA if you can't get out to the UFC. I know the tickets. I'm going to post the link to your tickets because I know that helps you out in this
Yeah.
story as well. They can click right on the link. Tickets begin for an MMA bout at $57.60, a professional bout. That's dirt cheap. And for people who don't know, who haven't been to an LFA card at Seneca Niagara Casino, there's no bad seat in the house. You could be in the very last row of seats, and it's a bomb seat.
Yeah,
Bomb.
I've actually went to an LFA event at the Seneca Niagara. A
Mm-hmm.
guy I trained with fought there,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it was really nice. And yeah, anywhere you sit, you can see good. But it's a nice venue, nice setup. They do a great show, so it's gonna be a fun night.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you can't go wrong. You have your card, you have Combat FC, and then on Saturday night you have Noche UFC, which is headlined by Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko too. Also with Jasmine Juvicious, Tracy Cortez, Kevin Holland, Jack Delmetta. So the MMA world, there's a lot of great fights, and you're the man starting it off. So we wish you nothing but the best, good luck, and we're waiting for you to put on a show. All right.
Oh, can't wait.
All right, Johnny, hold on.